You may have heard the saying, happy wife, happy life, and you've probably been confused as to why that doesn't directly translate in the dating space. The reason is not because she doesn't want to be happy or that your desire for her to be happy is wrong. It's more likely that it's causing you to subtly defer to her in ways that we're going to talk about today that are causing her to lose attraction over time instead of translating into that happy life and possibly a happy wife. If you're new to my work, my name's Courtney Shand, and I love helping people with depth date. I love getting into the nuances required to build that level of confidence and presence that allow you to build connections that feel authentic. Decisiveness is one of the masculine traits that we talk about a lot inside of the Rebrand, which is a one-on-one course designed to help you shift from limerence and into being able to discern genuine attraction, especially if you're someone with depth. This is going to allow you to connect with people who are also looking for depth in their partnerships and help create more compatible relationships as a result. But one of the common elements I was noticing in the conversations I was having with people is this idea of decisiveness. They would say, I'm just not decisive. I know I need to make more decisions. But as we were talking about it, it became pretty clear that there is a common misunderstanding of what decisiveness actually means to both men and for her as the feminine. And that's what I want to break down today with a little bit more depth of what it actually means when she's asking for more decisiveness, as well as the actions that go with that. Because again, decisiveness is an emergent quality. It's something that naturally happens as a result of you focusing on doing a different behavior. If you've ever gotten feedback that she wants for you to be more decisive, it doesn't mean that she wants you to be more bossy or dominant or controlling or not ask her opinion on things or even make decisions faster or have the right information all the time. She's actually craving when she's asking for your decisiveness is for you to have a point of view of what you want. Because again, people experience you as decisive when you're willing to own your experience, both what you're currently experiencing as well as what you would like to experience. Because there's just a difference in being across from someone who says, whatever you want to do, and hey, I found this new restaurant, are you in? Because women naturally experience you as more decisive when you embody 3 traits: clarity, trust, and respect. Clarity in that you know what you want. And I'm not talking about what you think you should want or what you think would make her happy for you to want. I mean actual clarity of what you are drawn to, the life that you're building, and the things that naturally make you feel more yourself. For example, if you value trying new experiences, you're likely going to be the one that's looking up a new restaurant. Because it's this level of clarity that she's not only going to be able to engage with, but also is foundational for her being able to trust and respect you in return. Because the thing that helps her trust you more is your ability to communicate what it is that you are clear that you want. This doesn't mean that you have to have a 10-year plan or that you need to know everything about yourself, but this does mean sharing what matters to you, not hoping that she can read your mind or waiting until she asks about it because that means that it's safe for you to talk about. So for example, if you actually like jazz music, if you're talking about music, instead of saying, I don't know, I like everything, just say, I like jazz. Because it's in these little moments of you owning your experience, owning the things that make you you, owning the things that you want and need, sharing that with her is what's going to naturally build trust over time and allow her to relax and open around you. In the same vein, it's easier for her to respect you when you respect yourself. And this looks like acting on what it is that you want or value. Not talking about it or saying one thing and then if she asks questions about it, you suddenly defer to her, but being willing to follow through on what it is that you're saying that you want. This is naturally going to start setting boundaries for you and giving her a way to engage with that clarity that you're presenting. Because you respect yourself and you're living according to your values, it's much easier for her to reflect that respect too. So now that we're all on the same page of what we're talking about when we're talking about decisiveness, that ownership of your experience, the clarity, the trust, the internal respect that allows you to start sharing that with other people, we need to talk about why this isn't naturally happening for you. Because this is what has people come to my work, and these are the conversations that I love having with people. And I want to share some of the things that I've been learning from my clients as well as what's really shifting for them too. Because the bigger truth is that decisiveness has less to do with speed and more to do do with clarity. So the question that we need to be asking is not, can I answer this faster? But do I actually know what I want, and am I willing to own that? Because you may think that you're not making decisions fast enough, when the reality may be closer to you don't trust that what you want is okay to want. It's like there's a little voice in your head saying, what if I make the wrong choice? What if she doesn't like it and she's disappointed? Or what if what I want conflicts with what she wants and I'm going to be selfish? But here's what I've been observing in both my one-on-one clients as well as the group Grounded, the embodiment experience that we're running right now for men, is that you learned early on that what you want isn't as important as keeping everyone else happy. And so you probably also grew up hearing happy wife, happy life, just go along to get along, don't rock the boat. And so as a result of hearing some of those phrases, you probably developed a strategy where you, in order to not be wrong, you ask her first. Or you pick the safe option so that you can guarantee you won't disappoint her. Or to keep the peace when she asks questions, you just defer to whatever she wants. Or you try to decide really fast so that you can appear more decisive without actually owning your experience. And those strategies may have served you when you were younger, but as an adult, they're now costing you clarity about what you want in a relationship and making her responsible for your experience, which of course is naturally going to lead to resentment when your needs don't get met. She's losing attraction because you're not leading. And even if you make decisions quickly, they feel hollow to you because they're disconnected from your desires, your values, your experience. And if you're wanting to create natural polarity in your partnership, that masculine and feminine tension that exists, that creates that chemistry, this is going to be one of the fastest ways to close that down. Because you're actually trying to reverse polarity when you don't own your experience. What I would offer instead is to start focusing on building clarity around your lifestyle, the things that you are naturally drawn to, and the life that you're wanting to build. I know we go back to this all the time, but this really is the anchor point of what keeps you feeling the most yourself. And that's always going to be the most attractive to the right person. This is also what's going to allow you to use this early stage of dating to verify if she's the right partner to continue building this life with. This is what has your life be happy, and if she becomes your wife, then she will also be happy because she can thrive within the lifestyle you're already creating, instead of you trying to continually guess what's going to keep her happy. That's not sustainable for most people, and eventually it gets really exhausting for both parties. Because what I've observed is that when you start deciding to decide something, you actually show up more authentically, naturally, and it might surprise you. I would challenge you this week to decide to decide. This is a game that I like to play with my clients because there are so many ways where they haven't even been aware that they're deferring to other people. For example, they think they're keeping the peace and being harmonious, when the reality is the people around them are having to pull more of the mental load than is their share. This is what makes men who are naturally decisive so magnetic to be around. Because for a naturally feminine woman, your clarity of not having her guess or be your decision-making service or feeling in some way responsible for your happiness allows her to relax. When she doesn't feel like she has to lead, she gets to respond to your lead. She gets to feel your presence, not just what you're performing. And as a result, she gets to feel more feminine around you. And when you know what you want and go after it, and you can communicate about it, even when it feels uncomfortable or risks disappointing her, it's actually sending her the message that she can rely on you when life gets tough. And these micro moments are what has respect and trust build over time. Because like I mentioned in this initial attraction video, I'll put it here, attraction builds over time. From intrigue all the way to admiration, it requires a certain amount of time. And each time you show up and own your experience and create more clarity for her, she gets to experience herself as being more feminine, more relaxed, and more able to rely on and trust you, which is what's going to naturally allow that attraction process to continue. And you get to verify if this is the right type of person for you too. Because the goal is never to build your life around her. It's to see if she thrives in what you're naturally building by giving her the information that she needs to self-select, to decide if you're the right fit for her too, and if she's naturally excited and lit up by the life that you're building. So really practically speaking, this means if you're someone who values new experiences, you decide to invite her to the restaurant that you found. If you have specific hobbies and interests, you're okay sharing that information with her, inviting her into that space, including her in your natural rhythms, and sharing your actual thoughts about things. Or if you're learning a new skill, you're sharing what it is that you're discovering. You may see this as useless information or being self-absorbed in the conversation. And of course, it's a two-way street. You want to keep that in mind. But she experiences these moments as you making decisions to include her in your world and to carry your share of the mental load as you're building the connection. Because this work isn't actually about making decisions faster. It's about building more capacity for clarity about you, to know what you actually want and need, not what you think you should want and need, or what she would want. This is what we've been getting into in the group Grounded. The embodiment experience for men is really tuning into what the stories and lived experiences have been around your needs and wants, especially in relationships. Because I found that when we get to this root level of information, it becomes much easier for you to own your experience, communicate what it is that you want, and naturally take action towards the things that you want and need in a way that not only women, but people in general respond to. This is the feedback that I'm noticing in the group, is that people are responding to them differently, and that they are showing up with each other differently as a result of having this information. If this is something that you're needing some clarity around, I've started a wait list for round 2. We're going to start after the new year. I'm going to put the link for everything that you need in the description below so that you can join us in that group experience. This is one of the things that we've uncovered that is creating a huge shift in how they're showing up, not only in their dating space, but in their life in general. And this is a conversation that I'm loving having, and I'd love to have it with you too. If you want some more information, everything's going to be in the description below. Feel free to set up some time if you're not entirely sure if this is the right fit for you. Because even though I want you to feel more decisive, in that practice, it's okay to still need some more information. I want to make sure that you have everything you need. So feel free to reach out if you have any specific questions. Otherwise, feel free to check out this video from the series that we've been doing on the things that make you universally attractive to women. And I'll see you guys next week.